Greetings, my beloveds. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am AniKa Faye, the Violet Flame Intuitive, back with another weekly collective reading for the week of December 22nd through the 28th, 2024. What I have for you here is a 5-card spread using the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by Holland. The first position being, what is the current situation of the collective? The second card being, what is the internal struggle? The third card being, what is the external influence or environment that we are operating in? The fourth card is, what is the message from spirit? The fifth card is the potential outcome. And the last card is the overall theme for the reading. If you like what you've been seeing and hearing on my channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know how these messages are resonating for you. So let's get started. In the first position here for the current situation, collective, I pulled the Financial and Material Changes card. This card, having a red border, indicates the physical. It represents business, finances, money, prosperity, earthly possessions, material gain or loss, and security. This tells me that we are and will continue to physically see and experience financial and material changes in the collective. In contrast to things that have been hidden or not as obvious to the collective in the past, we will actually experience more frequently tangible changes in our environment, in our government, in our economy, in our political leadership, in our personal lives. We are all undergoing changes. And I am confident in that interpretation because, as you can see in this spread, there are 2 other cards with the number 5. We have 5, 5, 5 in this spread. That is all about change. Things will no longer be the way they have always been. Everyone must shift. Some of us will shift willingly, and some of us will shift reluctantly. But shift we must. We can flow with this tide, or we can experience a more rocky journey by resisting it. This particular card represents changes, challenges, and losses, usually related to material or financial concerns, tangible things. We may be losing some of the things around us. This may be or feel difficult for some, and we've got to use our powerful forces within to help through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason, and this time isn't meant to be as a punishment. It is for you to know that your current conditions will transform for the better. A positive question to ask yourself now is, what did I learn from this? What am I learning? There are always lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take for you to learn those lessons. Moving on to the second position, which is the internal struggle. What are we all struggling with internally? And I pulled another 5 card for emotional loss. And this particular card represents relationships of the heart, feelings, desires, emotions, love, and joy. But this particular card is highlighting emotional loss. So what this tells me is, with the financial and material changes that we are going to be seeing and experiencing, there is going to be an emotional reaction to that. Think about how you feel, or how you would feel when something that you've believed to be true for so long turns out not to be true. You mourn the loss of old belief systems. You may even feel ashamed of the things that you once believed. You may feel angry that you were duped. You may feel like you should have known better. Regret. Some of us will have experienced physical losses. Losses of our loved ones, family members, pets, homes, jobs, friendships, romantic relationships. Anything that is aligned with where you are not headed has been crumbling, is crumbling, or has ended. And there is a fallout from that emotionally in the heart. This is all a part of how we evolve, grow, and expand on this earthly plane, in this earthly game. This can feel heavy and difficult. Some of you may be grieving. Honor your feelings. Only by healing and loving yourself, by letting go of the past, can you continue your journey. The suffering associated with this loss delivers profound wisdom. And we do have the wisdom card in this spread. We also have the heart card. The painful experiences of life are equally as valuable as the joyous ones in terms of lessons learned. Try not to focus on what you've lost. Let that go. I know it's easier said than done, but new beginnings and happiness are just around the corner for you, for us all. And I just want to add, for those of you who are grieving, I'm sending you love and light to nurture and illuminate your heart center so that healing can begin. Moving on to the next position, we have card number 4, discontent and boredom. This is the external environment in which we are all operating in. This card tells me, as a 4 as well, that we will certainly observe discontent all around us. It goes from the last card. As people experience loss, difficult transitions, transformations in their relationships and tangible experiences, will yield discontent among the masses. Everyone is not thrilled about what is going on around us right now, and there is a lot going on around us. When I see the word boredom, I think of apathy. Some of us are apathetic to governance, political leadership, economic circumstances. When will we ever make ends meet? External stimuli, this is the external position, will spark emotions of fear. What has the world come to? What is going on in society? Things are so crazy. It is a very taxing experience on the adrenal glands, let me tell you. The fight or flight response is being triggered on a daily basis, in fact. Distractions are all around, vying for our attention. Your experience will be colored by how much energy you give to that. I see the heart card coming up in the potential outcome position, so we'll get to what that means and what we can do to neutralize the negative influences over our lives. Moving on to the 4th position, this is the message from Spirit, and I pulled a major arcana, another 5, and it is wisdom, and I'm not surprised. When I see this card, I think of how far we've come. I think of those of us who have done the work, the shadow work, to go within ourselves and deal with those outdated patterns and beliefs that we have aligned with that have not been serving us. And so therefore we have released them through a very difficult process emotionally. But we have learned a lot, and we have come a long way, and we have gained a lot of wisdom. And Spirit is asking us to acknowledge that and to apply what we have learned. We are in the energy of application of what we have learned. We have all we need within us. It's one thing to have an academic awareness, and it's quite another thing to apply those concepts to real life experiences. Spirit is asking us to do that now. This card corresponds to the Judgment card in the traditional tarot deck. And this means that a reckoning is upon us, a reckoning of endings and beginnings. We cannot proceed in old energies. We are at a crossroads where we must choose to move forward in a new way, writing our own narratives, disconnecting from old, outdated narratives that no longer serve us. We must be wise in our choices and how we align. We must discern what we are seeing before us, what we are experiencing, so that we do not fall back asleep. To what are we giving our energy? We need to be mindful of that. We are what we focus on. We are who surrounds us. We are what we consume in the mind, in the body, and in the spirit. We can no longer do these things on autopilot. We must be mindful in every decision that we make. What are we agreeing to in spirit and in truth? This is a time when we will be making new alliances, new friendship circles, new acquaintances, like-minded souls, being a part of groups where we can be ourselves and share our thoughts and exchange ideas in a way where you feel accepted and heard and seen for who you are, and not for following along with the hive mind, so to speak. Kindred support that helps you live life to your highest ideals, finding the true inspiration and enlightenment of your soul. Sometimes the student becomes the teacher, so some of you will be sought out by others for the wisdom that you hold. Walk in that knowing and confidence that you do hold that wisdom and share it freely for those who seek it. This card of wisdom is letting you know that you have so much to share, whether you realize it or not. This card corresponds with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like a priest archetype, someone who people seek out for wisdom and guidance. If you resonate as a pillar of your community, of your family, of your social groups, as a beacon of light for the young people and perhaps the old who are trying to make sense of environmental changes, step into that calling, into that knowing, and be who you need to be for those whom you care about. Heed the call. Moving on to the potential outcome, I'm not surprised that we have the heart chakra here, another 4 card. The number 4 is about foundation, certainty, structure, something you can rely upon. And this card reminds me of last week's reading entitled Drop into the Heart. So here we have a continuation of that theme. This is how we get through this, by dropping into the heart once again. For those of you unfamiliar with chakras, chakras are energy centers of the body, often referred to as our spiritual batteries. Chakra in Sanskrit means wheel. Our anatomy is a complex piece of engineering served by a network of etheric wiring through which energy flows. The chakras are the organizing centers that act as both reception and transmission points for psychic information and life energies, also known as chi or prana. They're essential for the well-being of our body, mind, and spiritual development. If one of the chakra cards is drawn from this deck, the author of this deck says it's a reminder to be aware of that particular energy center and the qualities it represents, and apply that information accordingly to the reading of the cards. And that's what we're doing here. The heart chakra is being affected. The heart chakra keywords are I love. This chakra represents unconditional love, compassion, harmony, relationships, and healing. This is how we get through this energy, guys. The heart chakra is the link between our mind, body, and soul. By balancing this area, that means loving yourself and others, as well as forgiving yourself and others. And this is how you become more attuned to spirit. And this is how you integrate the difficult, dense energies that you encounter along life's journey. It is a very high vibratory thing to drop into the heart. It's easy to be fearful. It's easy to be angry. It's easy to complain and shout and scream and be apathetic and discontented. But it takes more mindfulness and intention to say, no, I'm going to take a higher road here. I'm going to extend grace to this person, because we've all been through a lot that has colored the way that we are and the way that we interact with one another. So extending grace to others, forgiving yourself for things you wished had turned out differently, and forgiving others that you once thought did something to you. Releasing victim mentality, releasing shame and guilt, understanding that these experiences were necessary to get you where you are today. Being grateful for the lessons is how you attract more positivity, more happiness, more joy into your life. Gratitude, daily gratitude. Thank you to the wind and the air, the earth, trees and grasses, the waters, the fire for destruction and rebirth. All of these things sustain life on this planet, and it's beneficial for us when we acknowledge and give thanks for these things as the foundation for the sustenance of humanity. This is what will open your heart center. And I also want to say here, one of the things that I found that really work for me are herbal essences, flower essences. These are holistic remedies for emotional healing. If you'd like to know more about how you can work with flower essences to open your heart, to heal your hurts, to accelerate forgiveness, to neutralize fear and anger, reach out to me. Send me an email, violetflameconsults@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to point you in the right direction on that. I have found it to be very supportive and rewarding on my personal journey of evolution. Moving on to the last card, which is in the position of overall theme for the reading. I pulled card number 20, which is truth, and truth corresponds to the traditional tarot card of judgment. This is about heeding the call. This is about lies no longer being able to stand. All lies will be revealed, exposed, disclosed. We are in a day of reckoning. And as I said with that number 5 wisdom card, I said heed the call. And that is what card number 20 is telling us as well. So we have confirmation here. The truth is coming out and will continue to come out. We are in the age of Aquarius now, folks, with Pluto having just moved into Aquarius out of Capricorn. This is a big shift for humanity. Things that have been hidden will be slowly and in some cases rapidly uncovered. This might be shocking. This might be disheartening. This might be upsetting for some of you. But some of you are excited about this time. I know I am. You're looking forward to the oppression being dissipated, the oppressive nature of society dissipating. I'm looking forward to the new beginnings that are being ushered in. And I understand that chaos may ensue and tangible changes that feel uncomfortable need to happen for us to bring all of that stuff up to be healed so that we may move beyond it. I am so here for this time. I am okay with the lessons. And I understand that it's part of the journey that we are on, and I embrace that, and I encourage you to do the same. So this truth card illustrates a spiritual awakening, clarity, the revelation of truth and cosmic consciousness. There's a lot going on in the skies, guys, if you haven't noticed. People are looking up more often and paying attention to the planets and the stars and the objects that are unknown that are flying around in the skies. This is an unprecedented time that we are living in. Many of us are receiving wake-up calls to get our attention, to show where we are and how much further we need to go to heal. This card comes forward to do just that. It's a reminder. It's an evaluation of the past, along with the lessons that we've learned or still need to understand. This is now a top priority. This is no longer a back burner issue. Like I said in that first card, we must shift. When we reconcile where we've been with where we're going, it enables us to forgive, accept, and heal so that we can move forward in a balanced and spiritual mindset. This truth card reminds us that a significant change must be made in a certain area of our lives. All choices must be weighed and evaluated with the most careful and wisest of judgments. We have the wisdom card here. Whatever steps you take now will have far-reaching consequences because we have a clean slate. More than we ever know, every decision that we make is important, and we must be mindful and discerning in that process. And the author of this deck has written a beautiful passage here I want to leave with you as I wrap up. Using the powers of the universe and blending them with a little help from the physical world will assist you in bringing about clarity and a shift in awareness. What was once not obvious will now be realized and understood by you. Be honest with yourself and trust what you know to be true. So that's what I have for you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. This was a very profound message, and it's building on last week's message. So we have a confirmation there. I wish you peace and blessings along your journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know how these messages are resonating for you. Have a great week. Enjoy the holidays. I love you. Ashe.